Alrighty then. Peace, everyone. Oh, that's, I don't know what happened as I was doing the title for this. Great. What's going on out there? Atif, Kali Kasil, SW, Fine Truth, Last Sun, Zigzag Zig. I'm waiting today for, I'm waiting for, the wordsmith today. I have a very deep and introspective question to ask. Anyone seen the wordsmith? Make sure I do each one, teach one, get the like that. So we know the wordsmith in here. We got we got the guys here today, CI. Peace. Yeah, we waiting on the What Did I Miss crew. Here we got CI. Peace. See if I can keep this. It's tight fixed. If you refresh now, the title looks decent. Using knowledge and wisdom. That's Shaquem, 793rd. Trying to get a few more people from the What Did I Miss crew in here. And then we get into the topic of using knowledge and wisdom, you know, as a specific thing, right? This is what you got to pay attention to specifically. This is a question. This is the uh, idea that I'm presenting, right, is that there's a difference between having knowledge and wisdom and using knowledge and wisdom. There's a big difference. You know, we see it, let's just keep it to ourselves. How many times, we engage in something and we realize that we didn't use knowledge and wisdom, but we only use that when we come out wrong. See, did you use the love, or did you use the help? Was that? Are we on too early? I know I'm coming on late. Maybe everybody's waiting for 7. Of course, we can see the alerts are not going out very rapidly. Alfonso Brown, the original Mythbuster. Alfonso Brown is one that he has an understanding of the topic today. Using knowledge and wisdom as opposed to just having knowledge and wisdom. See, just having knowledge and wisdom, right? And we all know that I'm very, I'm very adamant about expressing the importance of being able to quote the degrees. But at the same time, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to gain understanding of it? And will that understanding rise to the highest degree of perfection, which is to be manifested in a way where everybody can what? See it and hear it. Smell it, touch it, where it can be detected. It's like in everything that you do, right? How do you apply the 1 and 9? You should be one of my favorite things to ask people. Somebody say something stupid, do something stupid. And you say to them, did that make sense? Like, did you think about that before you said it? Right? Did it make sense to you then before it came out your mouth? Or it didn't make sense and you just said it anyway? Or you didn't think? Which one? See, that's a classic example, right, of you not using the 1 and 9. So you have knowledge and wisdom, right? But then when it comes time for you to solve a problem, whatever issue it is, right? You don't use 1 and 9. You fall back on regular city signs. See, one of the places that I've seen an example, this is lightweight rant. One of the places that I've seen an example, I am Asian, Asian peace. One of the places that I've seen an example, right, of people have the knowledge and wisdom, but they don't use it. See, before y'all bring somebody, wordsmith, hit the link. I got a question for you. There's a very deep question right here that takes your introspective brand of thinking. Hit the link, wordsmith, so I can you can enlighten us. You see, one of the things that's occurring, right, is that at least for me anyway, right, a distinction is not being made, right, about what the potential of every original man is and what it means to be one of us. VC realm and divine understanding. See, the knowledge degree tells you who the original man is, right? It tells you from who he is at birth all the way to what his highest potential is to be. And so, yeah, every brother walking up and down the street fits that description. That doesn't mean he's one of us. See, we don't have a monopoly on words and terminologies. That's where a lot of people get things misconstrued. You see, what's undeniable, right, is that it takes something to be one of us. You see, if we family, right? See, most people is family because somewhere down the line, they come from the same knowledge and wisdom. You see, your brothers and your sisters, right? Y'all come from the same immediate mother and father, knowledge and wisdom, father and mother. See, your cousins, y'all come from, a step removed, but the same grandfather and same grandmother, knowledge and wisdom. See, the same way, if you meet somebody at the family reunion, right, and you go through, all right, well, how are we related? Say, just because your last name is this and how are we related? See, this is the signs that we dealing with when we go through the degrees. And see, we might come in all different shapes, sizes, whatever you want to say. But see, at some point, we got to share the same culture, right? Because that we don't have all those other physical relationships. That's not what makes us brothers and sisters here in this. It's because we come from the same knowledge and wisdom. We deal with the same science of mathematics and how we study it and how we activate it. Not exactly the same, but I'm just talking about the steps that we take, right? In making an idea become a reality. We all supposed to be going through the same 1 and 9. See, if you go on 1 to 8, right, and then you talking about that's your self-style wisdom. See, let me explain something to you. The only people that ever want to change the rules is the people that can't thrive under the rules. The people who is thriving under the rules, they don't want it to change. Why you think the white people is conservative? Who want all this change and shit to be coming about? Now reality came in. Now it's born. Got born from LA. Right? God is the black man's birthright. No one can give or take that away from you. If you see yourself as God, more power to you. But claiming to be one of Allah's 5% has to be confirmed. Truth Rules from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Shout out to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Indeed, this is something right here, man. Listen, you got to be tagged in. You can't just hear this from the other side of the planet, right? And then because you identify with us, like you feel like you identify with us or whatever, you know what I mean? We're, brothers in the struggle. And yeah, that's peace. You see, there's lots of people, and see, this is the thing. And sometimes people don't understand. Listen, just be you. We can work together just fine. I got people, listen, see like my old earth. Love the lady. 95%. Peace. Like that's not going to necessarily, that's peace, black man. How you know? What's your name? Daquan. Daquan? All right. So Daquan, we broadcast this class on YouTube just for, we in New York State here, I guess we gotta tell you. But now as Born said, I recall when we used to say same father, different mother, same knowledge, different experiences, supreme divine. True indeed. You understand what I'm saying? But, this happens, right? This happens where, see, let me tell you something, man. And this is like the last 2 years, man. I just started asking myself, man, who gave certain people the knowledge, man? Like, it's just some people that I wish I knew who gave them the knowledge. I had their number, I just called them just to look. Come get your man, man. Come get your man, talk to him, please. I've done that before, and the brother told me, hey, listen, he's on his own. You see, you start because you proselytizing and you're not teaching. See, because you're trying to convert people and you're not teaching. Because you're trying to compel people instead of teaching, right? You start bestowing titles on people. You start bestowing titles on people before they qualified themselves. And look, that goes for brothers and sisters. You see it every day. Brothers see a woman walking down the street, and all of a sudden, you're using all this science. You using this science to draw up. You telling her that she's this, right? To draw her out, but she's not this. See, these are the things where you have to use your knowledge and wisdom. So you got to make sure these people have some civilization before you bring them around the righteous to get the knowledge of self. So you start bestowing these titles on people, and then the next thing you got them dealing with the science of everything in life, right? Before they even civilized. So now you got the civilized person around them dealing with everything in life. Nah. See, let me explain y'all, man. The first thing you come around us, we should receive your words bond. But what kind of nigga is you? I ain't talking about just if you lie or not. What kind of nigga is you? What is the things that you produce? You know what I mean? Do you produce trouble? Do you produce righteousness? Or do you don't produce and you just take? What kind of nigga is you, man? You see, I don't want you around me long enough to teach you. If you're not the right kind of nigga, I'm not going to be around you. You got to watch the show. See, then, right? Then you listen, and this was some people you think you skipping steps. Some people be skipping steps. And they think that they're in the FOI already. No, you're not a soldier yet. You're just a recruit. You're just a recruit. You're not even eligible to be a private soldier, a lieutenant, or a captain. See, listen, man, these things, listen, man, I know all about potential. I know all about progress. You see, some things have to be shown and proven at some point or another. You see, that's when it comes down to using the knowledge and wisdom. You can see, if you use the knowledge and wisdom, now at some point, we're supposed to see the fruit of that, right? We're supposed to be able to see it, listen, without you talking. Why you got to tell me what it is? Like, I don't look right there at this picture. I look at that map. I know what it is. Why I need you to tell me what it is? You need the passcode? Hold on, let me look for this passcode for the wordsmith because we're about to take a break for a minute and have a question to ask the wordsmith here. I can't recall, where did I find it last time? See this, it must be something I got to press to take that off. Because it's got me like the Amish. I think it's 717841. I think that's the passcode. I gotta figure out how to take that off, you know. Make Sonic. Sonic. What? We wait for the wordsmith to come in the background. But so yeah, what's the science? Where you from? Daquan, you said, right? Yeah. Where you from? Queens. Queens? What part?
I'm from a story, but I live in Jamaica now.
All right. So what's the science? 120?
No, but I'm just learning, trying to learn how to get into it.
All right. So what you been doing to get into it more?
Trying to read my message to the black man and how to eat right. I'm gonna be honest, I've been falling victim to certain stuff. I'm staying on top.
Well, you read the message to the black man, sir, right?
Yes.
All right, so what's the message?
Love yourself, man. Self-care.
So you got the message, or you how you reading it? You think there's more message in there that you haven't gotten yet?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. That just been because I lost my older in January. I've been slack, going through a lot. My housing situation. I've been being up to par with my vision.
Mm-hmm. So what degrees do you know?
To be honest, I really don't know.
Do you know the days of mathematics?
Get into it and learn how to get into it.
All right. Do you know supreme mathematics? All right. How long have you been exposed to knowledge?
Because I grew up around brothers that knew knowledge and stuff.
Right. But I'm saying, how long have you, since you made a decision to say, I'm a 5%?
To be honest, my name is a 5% of me, man. It just I know a little bit. I'm not going
to. No. That's what I'm saying. Have you ever had supreme mathematics?
No.
So you just started saying your name is Daquan.
That was the name that was given at birth.
That's your honorable name?
Yeah, that's the name that was given at birth.
And how you end up with that name?
My father named me.
And he's a 5%?
No. I was given a name at birth.
Mm.
My aunt told her to name me that name.
All right, so right now, you just trying to find out what the 5% is about.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Because I'm not going to be performing. I'm not going to be faking a fraud about like I know that, and I know them.
Mm. So, what is 5%?
5% is a man that carries himself as righteous. Believe that the black man is God. Believe everything is civilization for people.
And how you think you're going to live that up?
The right thing, righteous thing. Lead by example.
Lead by example.
How to teach the young brothers how to live right.
So, are you setting a good example?
So I try to tell people the right thing.
No, not what you tell them. Are you setting a good example?
That's I do for my nephews.
She's setting it. Not what you do for your nephews.
But I set a good example.
See, what does it mean to set a good example?
Teach them right, bro.
No. I mean, ultimately, yeah, that happens. But see, you gotta set an example by things that you're doing. See, you can tell them what's right. You see them seeing you doing what's right, yeah, multiply the power of what you told them. Like I don't want to make it compete to make it seem like, yeah, if you're just showing them example, but then you're not really giving them the knowledge and wisdom to let them know, you know what I'm saying? Like a person might see you set an example of going to college, right? But then they don't like, yo, how you did that? You know what I mean? You gotta tell, well, yo, look, you gotta start off right now, you gotta get good grades, you gotta apply to college, you gotta take the SAT. You see what I'm saying? So you did both. And that's what it takes because knowledge and wisdom bring about understanding. Not just knowledge and not just wisdom. So what about your now here a little piece? What about your dietary, what's your dietary regimen? You eat pig?
No, I don't.
You don't eat pig.
No, I don't. So the pork is no good if the animal wasn't killed.
How long since the last time you ate pig?
I ate fish since I was 13, and when I learned that pork wasn't good for me. I ate pork since I was 15. Because I've been around brothers saying that pork, because they sold me the pork sandwich, they said, no, cypher, that's no good.
No fasting?
Yes. Eat one other day sometimes. And eat, you know, you don't eat or drink.
See, the 5% when you're fasting is no meals a day. You're gonna be at 5%, got fast 3 days. Ready for that?
Yeah, to make the life change.
You know why you got fast 3 days? Well, there is a physical component to it. And so, I mean, we're, you know, one of the main things that your body does is digestion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your internal organs, right, is for digestion. See what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why, uh, like, you catch the itis. It's because all of the blood and energy in your body has to go to your digestive system to digest the big meal that you eat. You see what I'm saying? So when you don't eat, when you fast, right, all that blood and energy can go to the, you know, all the rest of your organs so they can regenerate and replenish themselves. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a physical component to it, but at the same time, right? If you, how old are you now?
30.
You're 30, so that's what I'm saying. A lifetime of eating the wrong foods is not going to be corrected in 3 days. You understand what I'm saying? The main reason you fast is to show you your own power. So your power to control, you know, something that's actually a necessity. It shows you the power of your mind over the physical. That you can rise above that, right? To the fullest potential of who you are, right? Which is the purified energy. Now, you can control that, right? Then whatever it is that you're walking around that you're experiencing in life, right? Like you said, you've been doing some things and falling victim to some things, right? Now you know what your power is to control those things that you might fall a victim to. You see what I'm saying? Shows you something about who you really are. That's what we say we're dealing with, right? Knowledge of self and who we really are. So, in the meantime, do knowledge, listen there, if you have any questions, ask questions, you know what I'm saying? But, fast 3 days, when you're ready, come back. You see what I'm saying? When you fast in 3 days, right? Look, you one that's got to do the fast. If you come back and tell me you fast 3 days and you didn't fast 3 days, see, remember what I said a few minutes ago when I said, I just want to see what kind of nigga you is. If you the kind of nigga that don't go fast 3 days and come back and tell me a lie that you fast 3 days, see, I don't know what kind of nigga you is, but see, what's most important is you'll know what kind of nigga you is. And see, just the fact that you know it, you're going to reveal it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, we got the wordsmith. Hold on for a second. Let's build with this brother here. I got a couple more things I'm gonna tell you about fasting before you leave. Now here a little said, what would you recommend for preparing to do the 3-day fast? Is there a way to prepare it? I mean, if you wanted to, if you want to prepare, let's say if you run marathons for a living, right? You probably want to pick a time where you don't have no marathon. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to break the pull-up record and nothing like that while you're fasting. You see what I'm saying? And if you have some particular books or something, you know what I mean? Do your reading. You understand what I'm saying? Focus on your mental. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got your message to the black man, read your message to the black man while you fasting. You understand what I mean? If you deal with the science of meditation or anything like that, deal with the science of what they call introspection. You know what that is? When you're thinking and your thoughts is coming from inside, right? About what's going on inside instead of coming from the outside about what's going on outside. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's one of them things where, it's like learning how to swim the hood way. Like I've been places and seen like the little kids with the life vests on, and the lady is showing them how to do that. I've seen that, I never seen it in the hood, like working like that. You know what I mean? And everybody, at least, I don't know, maybe they changed it now. But it's one of them things where you got to jump in the water and sink and swim. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said,
I seen that too.
it's something that, like I said, you're going to be learning about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Now after this fast, right, and you learn about yourself, now it might be certain things you might say, but what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna get these ingredients, right? So when I come off the fast, I'm gonna make the soup. You understand what I mean? I'm gonna make this soup for when I come off the fast, like, stuff like that. But that's gonna be over time. You know what I mean? Some people, I know a brother that used to go in, man, and he's fast, 7, 10 days, 2 weeks. But that was you know, him wanting to increase his mental power. You see what I mean? Or different things that he used to tell me that he used to do to keep his mind sharp, right? Is that he would leave something like out of place in his rest when he left. But he would leave it in such a way that if he didn't recall that, right, he would trip over it or something. You see what I'm saying? So he had to always, you know, that was an exercise he gave himself, you know, to increase his powers of concentration.
Right. All praises due, divine God, Allah. All praises. That's peace, Christ. I hear what you're saying.
I wouldn't, you know, I other than that, yeah, I really can't tell you. You know, I don't know how to, you know, we just, you know, we look at the time, the last time we eat, and we, you know what I'm saying? That's about it. But, Wordsmith, I have a question that I think only you can answer.
Okay. What's that?
When women call each other bro.
You said bro?
Yeah. Is that cultural appropriation?
I don't know. I can't answer that because I've never heard them say that. What I can say is what, like, you know, because to me what it sounds like you're saying, what it sounds from, like, just from listening with them calling each other that, because I've heard them call each other. Let's say, for instance, being me from California, right, and growing up amongst different people, like there was a slang term. People, like, we wouldn't say that. Us, it would be disrespect for us to call each other that. We would be like, "Hey, fool." But in California, and you know, like, they call each other that. People call each other, "Hey, fool," but it's not like a disrespectful thing.
You know, we went to actually, I don't think we was in California. I think we was in Texas. And somebody's giving us a ride somewhere, right? And some day was like something like, yeah, you know, so, you know, what you fools doing after this or something? And we all looked at each other like, nah, they just don't know. Let's let it go. Like, it was one of the things like,
yeah. I mean, like, my hypothesis, my hypothesis would be more. It's probably like a unconscious type of
I've been there.
Yeah, like an unconscious type of thing.
Now you know why they call me Christ.
Yeah.
I found a rabbit hole that even the wordsmith now. Listen.
Every time you stay in the rabbit hole.
Now y'all know why. That's why they call me Christ.
Yeah, man. Lepus hole. Rabbit hole is also called a lepus hole. Lepus.
Is that cultural appropriation?
I think a lot of perhaps it could also be, you know, a lot of women have a lot of testosterone, so a lot of them, you know, it goes back to when they were saying they had
what about when they invite you to perform fellatio? Is that cultural appropriation?
What, on them? On her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, me personally, I would say I don't personally mind that. I wouldn't say that's cultural appropriation.
You wouldn't say that's cultural appropriation.
No, what I would say though with that one is that might be more like, I wouldn't say a rabbit hole. I would say that would be more like you know, just don't drown.
You see, we got to listen. Absolute Boss Collective. Yeah, I think we got to do this segment. Yeah, we got to listen. We got to bring an Ask the Wordsmith segment to each show. DC Realm said, just like in New Orleans, they call each other bitch, but not in a disrespectful way, only for those that's close amongst each other. Yeah.
You know, this topic kind of reminds me of one of your no, this wasn't your stream. This was the brother Sunez stream, right? And the guy had a stream where he's teaching the class, and I was doing the knowledge to this stream, right? And he was building with a Law World Manifest, right? And the Law World Manifest, I don't know if you've seen the stream, but he was telling Sunez like he was having issues with his neighbor who is so-called Hispanic, a quote-unquote Hispanic person, and you know they were having a beef or something. They were having a little, neighbor feud. You know, some neighbors argue, "Don't step on my lawn," like the movie Friday, with Stanley and Ice Cube and shit. So he was having a feud with his neighbor who was somebody from the so-called Latino world. And the Law World Manifest stated, he said that the guy they were having back and forth and whatever. And he was upset. This was something I disagreed with him, but I understood where he was coming from. He said, I would rather him have called me a black nigga than a monkey. I said, what? Hold on, I had to think about that. I would say, you would rather be called a nigger than a monkey? See, if a devil calls me that, I would rather them call me that, because a monkey is just a monk with a key.
I mean, if that's how you want to look at it. When it comes to that, I agree with the brothers just in terms of a lot of things is just cultural, because some things is literally right. Well, what you just said, if it's impediment, right? But this is what I'm saying. There's some things that don't necessarily have, just off the rip, right, a bad connotation. You know what I mean? Meaning that, you might see somebody, right, that from the neighborhood, they're not a 5%, but you interact with them in a positive way. It's, love, peace, and happiness between y'all. You know what I'm saying? And, you might see you be like, oh shit, yo, that's my boy right there. Such and such, woo, 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 woo. Right? Yeah. And then you be like, oh, it's not, yo, peace. You know what I'm saying? But then, right, imagine it's different now. If a colored man sees you, right? Imagine you go on your job, right? And your boss, is talking to one of the other bosses. He's talking to somebody he's about to make a deal with. And you walk in and punch the clock, you go, yeah, that's my boy right there.
Right. No,
now, I might not have a job too much longer after that.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. It's also, see, because within a situation like that, it's kind of also dealing with, the vibratory tone and how the person meant it. You see what I'm saying? Because in that situation, that's a big part of it. It's depending, what did the person mean when they were saying this? Because just like the word, just different words people call it. Like if someone calls you, like it goes back to when I said people in California say, "What up, fool?" Like now I would probably, like I don't want to be called a fool, but you know what I'm saying? But then you got to understand that this is just, they don't mean anything by it in that particular way. But what I'm saying, what my point was about the Law World Manifest and Sunez's class thing is that, because what I was thinking is why do they, meaning the devil, why do they get to constantly recreate new slurs? They get to come up with all these new slurs, and then we just accept it that it's a slur now, and now all of a sudden it's a bad word to us. Don't you see what I'm saying? Because when you think about it, like say for instance, what if they decided to say let's see, they could come up with anything. They just, what if they said bro is a race, like what you said, bro? What if they said bro is now? What if they said bro?
Listen, I understand your point. Here's the where I would add on that see you have the wonderful world of the wordsmith, right? And in the wonderful world of the wordsmith, a monkey is just a monk with a key.
No, that's not what it is. I know that there's a
No. I hear what you're saying. Listen though, we also have to look at what is the origin of these things in that world. You know, not just that these words sound alike, but you know, that was a representation that came from the science of evolution and white supremacy that was saying that the original man was uncivilized. You know what I mean? That you're a monkey, you're less, you know, and so, you know, to a certain degree, I didn't say anything at the time because you just kept going, but yeah, I could see definitely him saying that, you know, you calling me a nigga is something that, you know, I might call myself. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that's something that, you know, the connotations of that is, I think, a little bit less harsh, you know, than the connotation that we're subhuman.
Right. I can see that. I can definitely see that. In the way you put it, I can see that. It's also like, you know, they have different slurs. Like it's like they came up with all kind of slurs. You see what I'm saying? And I just think that my point of saying is that I think that we should like analyze some of the slurs and really not to try to use it against him, but not to try to use it and turn it back on him, but to look at it and see what the fuck is these shit really mean. Because like when you look in the dictionary, certain words, like say for instance, me primarily, you know what I'm saying, having like from my background, you know what I'm saying, having a mother who is an African and a father who is a native, a so-called Native American, you see what I'm saying, so-called African, so-called Native American. I just identify as what Asiatic black man. But anyway, having this type of background, right? You know what I'm saying? One would refer to me before in the past, okay, they would call us a wet back, right? That's a racial slur that the European uses for so-called Hispanics, right? Now, think about it. What does that mean? They attributed that to what? The people who would come, and they said that people would swim here from different countries, right? That's where it comes from. See? Mm-hmm. But when you look within our lessons, we just swim 9,000 miles.
Well, specifically, the Rio Grande is what they're talking about.
Right. And I've heard people who were like, and this is a thing too. This is like this goes back to, because I've heard people who like, they have people who were born, like people who are so-called Latinos who are born within the United States, and they would actually use that slur against people who are from the country that their parents are from. I've heard that. I've actually heard that.
You said who used what slur? Say it again.
Okay. I would see, like in being from California, right? There's a large Hispanic population, people from El Salvador, people from Mexico, people from Guatemala, people from these different places. You even see there's not very many Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? So, born at Universal Truth, I would say, for instance, right, I would see Hispanic, so-called Hispanic Mexican people, right? They would refer to the people who come from Mexico or South America as wetbacks. And they're Hispanic too, but they were just born here.
I mean, you tapping into things that's just much bigger. You understand what I mean? I've been listening to some of the fancy Negroes. I got some fancy words. That's proximity to whiteness. You know what I'm saying? That exists in every group. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, for instance, in New York, right? The people that came to New York, and it's one great migration that they call it, but in New York, it's broken into two parts. Where you got the people that came during World War I, and the people that came from World War II and after. So the people that was here from World War I, right? These people already had established themselves. Like they had been here for a generation, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like myself, you know, my grandparents come here when my father is a baby. So, you know, by the time I come along, I've dropped the Southern accent. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so like I said, by the 40s, this is the situation with the people that came in the 20s. So they never accepted the people that came in the 40s. They looked at them as hicks. You know what I mean? Like these is country bumpkins from the sticks. You know, they not hip to what's going on in the city. So, you know, really, we're gonna take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know about all these different little scams, you know, et cetera, you know, and we're not going to share any of the, you know, kind of the benefits that we've acquired.
Yeah. I noticed you mentioned, you know, that you said the word hick there, not to, you know.
Yeah, that's it. I've heard that term used. I've heard that term used by other you know, coaches too.
Well, I know the connotation of the word hick, what it means, but you know, the connotation of it. I haven't actually looked it up in a dictionary. But the reason why I brought it up though is because I remember recently I had to tell you know, I was being bothered by somebody, and I had to tell them that telepathic was to telepath to a hick. But you know, yeah.
Man. The worship. Where's Mr. Spot?
Oh yeah, man, Mr. Spot. Mr. Spot, we was talking about LeBron James the other day.
Says, I got that as well, and I got my mathematics and alphabet. You got what as well? Nah, here we go. Let's check that. Find truth, so I see it being group norms, and it's being said amongst themselves. It's being said either with or without giving it any thought, because it has become the norm and normalized. I mean, well, you know, it's also one of the things where you know, membership has its privileges. You understand what I'm saying? Where, you know, like I said before, you know, I could be talking to my sister, right? And me and her might be talking about our moms, and we might be saying, we talking about shit we don't like. You know what I mean? But that's me and her. If somebody else came up to me talking about that, it'd probably be a different conversation. You know, it could be anything. Like, look, you could just be talking about your sports team. Right. See, like if I'm talking to SW, we can talk about the Knicks. The CVC round, I got to point out that St. Louis doesn't have a team. This is how that works. And everybody who acts like that's not the way it works is just talking stupid.
I actually had a question for you as well.
What's that?
Because I noticed when we were having the conversation about slurs and the term monkey came up, and you mentioned that that comes from evolution, which I would say is only a theory, is false, and that's why some would refer to it as evolution. But also that you know, being that we were talking about that, right? I've also heard that Europeans actually are the one. I don't know if it's true. This is what I heard. That's why I'm asking you about it. That Europeans actually do have, um, a relationship, an actual relationship with the rhesus monkey. This is, is this true?
All right, let's you said, let's start from the first question, what you were saying about slurs. We had to break this one down. You said that you asked something about evolution.
No, because I was going back to what we were talking about before. You said, okay, because you were saying, we were talking about because I brought up the conversation between the Law World Manifest and Sunan. And, and we went into the conversation about the rhesus monkey thing, you see? And with that, I was saying that, I said that evolution is evolution, you see? So evolution, because it's a false doctrine. It's like a religious doctrine for people. It's like a religious doctrine these days. People they actually believe in those things, evolution. And then I was saying that this is what I was told. This is the part that I was trying to focus in on. I was told, you know what I'm saying? I was literally told. And these were some wise people that told me this. So I just never verified it. I actually didn't know where to go to verify it. That's why I'm asking you about this part. This is the main part. Do Europeans, in some shape, form, or fashion, come from rhesus monkeys?
The way I understand it, right? Everybody knows biology is not my strong subject. And we got the Mythbuster in here, so we don't want to go too deep. But I'm just saying, as per the theory, right? The RH factor in blood, right, isn't because of direct, being directly descended from the rhesus monkey. It's saying that there's a common thing in our blood, right, or in human blood or whatever, that rhesus monkeys have in their blood, because at some point we descended from a common ancestor, which, for me personally, that's, because at the time when I first started learning about evolution in school, there was supposed to be a direct lineage. Like all of these different Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, all of these was they had particular dates that they existed. And then over time, right, they started changing it to, well, we broke off from some evolutionary branch where we was the same, so, anybody that, if you recall back in the days, there was always a search for the so-called missing link. This animal or species or whatever, right, that show, monkey characteristics and people characteristics, I guess. You understand what I mean? So, for instance, Sasquatch and the abominable snowman and all of these things was thought to maybe, perhaps be the missing link. You understand what I'm saying? So the theory of evolution, right, has actually undergone tremendous evolution from the time Darwin first, he kind of put it out there. It's really not even his theory.
Okay. So he got it from somewhere else then, and he just kind of ran with it.
Well, originally, evolution was a social science. Like there was, within Europe, right? You still got this Catholic Church thing and, Christianity and all of that is still against Islam. So, they needed an explanation, right? For once they got to the Industrial Revolution, they needed explanations for different things. Why was some people excelling, and becoming rich, and why was some people becoming impoverished? You know what I'm saying? And, evolution became the theory to justify it. You know what I mean? The same thing, they needed a theory to justify slavery. Peace. You know what I mean? Evolution, these people are not even human. That's how it started. You know what I'm saying? It started more in terms of these traits and characteristics, because remember when you first dealing with evolution, right, is natural selection. So the brother right here brings up eugenics. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of the theory of eugenics, is that the reason why certain unfit people, right, exist is because we supporting them with society. And so in order to take this drain out of society of having, sick people or, with all the different things that they consider negative, right? We're going to be the mechanism of the natural selection by taking these people out of the gene pool. Now, when Darwin came with his theory about the physical evolution, right? It was like, okay, now we have physical evidence. You know what I'm saying? We see that, this thing is, like an as above, so below kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? We see the physical manifestations of it. And, of course, you got the people, I think, what's their names? Like the Colacat family or something, the Calicat family, which was a family of people that, they had a lot of people that suffered from mental illness and, people that was criminals, et cetera, et cetera. And so they used that family to say that all of these, characteristics that we don't want in society is hereditary.
Okay. I was thinking about your original question when you were talking about girls' cultural appropriation and calling each other bro. And it just made me think, because like living in the different places I live in, because people are like, it's strange because at one point everybody was just bruh. It was bruh. Like that's how they talk in like the West Coast and in certain states. It wasn't bro, it was bruh.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard girls actually say that. So when you said bro, it didn't kind of, it didn't
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So
it didn't, it didn't ring
now listen, when girls call each other bruh, is that cultural appropriation?
So we say, in our nation, we say that culture is one's way of life. So I mean, if they trying to, I would say that if they're, I would just best to say what they're doing is they're kind of they're kind of like, like I wouldn't say it's cultural appropriation, but it kind of is in a way because when you're saying that and you're doing things that men do and you're trying to, use slang that men use and use words and verbiage that men use and men use this verbiage in their everyday life. And in a way it kind of is, but you also got to look at it though that females, like from my experience with females, they kind of just look up to everything that men do because you got to see like 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 even we know like the knowledge is the foundation. So they just, they're supposed to reflect our light. So in a way,
But
maybe you can look at it
isn't
that way. Are they
isn't
in a
that
way?
what?
Are they
Wait,
reflecting our light?
wait. Isn't that what cultural appropriation is about? And now wait a minute. Here's the thing, right? If I said to you, right? If I said, yo, sis, such and such and such and such, wouldn't you
Emphatically
say,
now,
whoa,
Cypher.
that's some woman stuff?
I would say emphatically now, Cypher. Like, no,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
was
You
just
would say,
about that. I
whoa,
would,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
yeah, yeah.
that's women.
But
That's
that's
not.
because, yeah. But that's because,
So wait. That would be cultural appropriation, right?
yeah, it would be trying to be like, yeah, it would.
So why don't work the other way?
That's a good point.
I'm just telling you, man. Listen, man. I told you, man. You thought you was the master of these rabbit holes, didn't you?
Nah, you're the master of the rabbit holes, man. That's why we're gonna get a shirt for Donnie Darko, man. You gotta get that Donnie Darko shirt. Y'all hey, everybody in the chat, man, get that new Donnie Darko shirt coming out and soon. A new Donnie Darko shirt, man.
We got the original Mr. 120. Lord Bernie said everything ain't in a book. So keep in mind the best man is the one who keeps the information in his head, not putting no book.
Oh, got cat food up in that cabinet in case you ever want to feed it. Oh, so you're right. Again, the cat let's go over right here. Mm-hmm. You can't. Don't be out here. I mean, y'all. Hey, I need you on Friday. See what it do.
Ultimately, books is.
But the crazy part about it is though, you got men doing that. See, we wouldn't do that because we know the right from wrong. We have the knowledge that shows us the right from wrong. But you got men out there doing what you're saying, what you just said, like the example you used. There's some dudes out there that do that, and I would say there's something wrong with them. Do I know what's wrong with them? No, because I don't get into their world. I tend to mind my business. But I would say there's something wrong with them, and there's something wrong with the females that do it as well. Now, what's wrong? I'm not a psychologist. So I don't know. I'm not, But
so
yeah, I would.
Divine Truth, I look at it as being offensive indeed because they are acting unlike themselves by addressing each other in that manner when they are women. But yeah, I know what Lord Bernie was saying, ultimately, books is still, the realm of six. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask this. I want to stay on that real quick because you said because that was a good one, like the bro and the bro, right? Now, what about this though? What if you got a wisdom, right, or a woman? You're dealing with a black woman and she's your girl. You with her, but she's calling you bro.
You said what?
What do you tell her? What if she to call, like, you dealing with a girl, you got a black woman, this is your woman, right? You trying to make her into your earth or whatever, right? And you know, she has a habit. This is a habit because she's, you know, she's not, you trying to make her into an earth. She's not an earth yet, right? So she has a habit of her verbiage, her vernacular, and she's calling you bro. You're not her brother. What do you do then? Because that's not right and exact either.
But you said you're not her brother.
No, I mean, in the sense of you being with a brother. When I say brother in this context, I mean you don't got the same. You weren't birthed out the same womb.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you, Lord Justice. Calm as long as the original. This is 120. You haven't been on the channel in a while. Just, you know, we got our own terms on here. But I think I probably would disagree with you on that one. Let's ask Mecca Divine Wisdom. Mecca Divine Wisdom, we had a very right now we're exploring a very deep and introspective topic. When women call each other bro, is that cultural appropriation? Now this boy said, I'm gonna tell her to watch her mouth. Well, I'll say this much. I don't know if it's me, right? As an individual, I always just assumed that it was universal across men and women's relationships. Is you know, especially when it just comes to just speaking, women tend to pick up on your terminology. You know what I'm saying? Like if eventually they say peace when you know you talk to them on the phone or you see them. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I think most people is like that. So, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, it's probably going to depend a lot on, you know, how you speak and the kind of brother you is, you understand what I'm saying? And rather see our power her or her power I see. You understand what I'm saying? You know, meaning, you know, if you just caught up, right? If you so caught up in the physical, right? Or you so caught up in the emotional, right? That you've given away your power to explain to her that, listen, there's standards for the woman that I deal with. Like, look, if you don't read, you know, if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, not saying that I'm forcing you to do that, just saying, look, you know.
Sometimes you do gotta force them though. I mean, not in a, when I say force, hold on, pardon. When I say force, I don't necessarily mean in a physical way. What I mean is, you know what I mean, dealing with power. You see what I'm saying? Power, utilizing your strength and your wisdom, your knowledge and your wisdom. You know, make her understand. That's what I mean by that.
Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Is to see our power her or her power I see. See, the reason that happens, and one of the reasons that it's so easy for that to happen today, right? For it to be her power I see, is because we live in a culture where her power I see. See, we live in a culture, right, where the woman's physical composition has become a commodity. You understand what I mean? That, we see all around us all the time. So see, you already caught up before you even meet the woman, if you caught up, right? So now, if you caught up, right, you can't, you can't establish that, listen, there's a acceptable way, right, for, the wisdom in my cipher to conduct themselves at home and abroad. And of course, it's dependent on your level of civilization, right? And the way you play your role, you know what I'm saying, as master of law now. I don't know, is self-I-build on it? Now I probably lost my hotel card.
Nah, man, the ladies love cool Christ, man.
I think I lost. You made me have to delve into a topic that may not go over well.
LLCC, man. Ladies love cool Christ on YouTube, man.
Now I was going to say a lot of these dudes is tender. Yeah, back in the days, but this was, like I said, we live in a different world now. Even in the last years, from seeing the Me Too movement and all these different things, you know what I mean? But once upon a time, it was called being a man and putting your foot down. And see, women is that way. Now I'm really about to lose my hotel card. But see, women, they can naturally detect signs of weakness. And see, even with lions, I don't know if you've ever seen this, right? But I watch. Like I said, I like animals in their natural habitat. You didn't see me no dogs and at my house, but I like them in their natural habitat. I like to watch them out there. So I watch a lot of nature stuff. And one thing I've seen is that if the male lion get too weak and the female lions detect that he's weak, they'll attack him.
Hey, that's peace. That's peace that you say that, because me and the guy, what's his name, the brother that be in the chat, self-I-build. Me and him we build a lot about anthropomorphism a lot, man.
I think Mega Divine Wisdom is about to unsubscribe. What's the eyes for Mega Divine Wisdom? I told y'all I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, it's peace. Like a crow with a lion's mane. But, you know, it's just, you know, just my idea for a comic book.
So at any rate, if you know, show the signs of weakness, then yeah, it's gonna be her power. I see. I don't know. Making my wisdom says she's listening. Maybe I'm wrong, and it's actually interesting. Maybe this is actually interesting. Maybe I'll get a gold star on my hotel card now. Yeah, but at any rate, that's what I see happening. That's what I see happening a lot. Christopher Gooding. So yeah, we getting pretty, we getting out there on time. I think it's time. If you're new to the channel, don't panic. But y'all don't know these people like I know these people. Dr. Vinci. So, at this point, gotta tell them, listen, start winding this down. Especially look, we got the wordsmith live, so this getting.
Hey, make sure y'all post this, man. Post this video, and or just post a channel, any video from the God channel. Post them on your Facebook and your your social media, because you know why? Because promotion is what the best, some of the best motion dealing with the internet. I mean, motion, what wisdom, right? You got to be pro motion. You know what I mean? Be pro about doing things, man. So promote the God's channel, man.
It was this. So 93rd said you're always considered the bro to females. Like a divine wisdom says, speaking freely, if you show that you're indecisive, overly emotional, I think you're weak and start feeling froggish. And power will be tested. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Is it? See, even let me tell you what's messed up about when they do their testing. Is when they do their testing, right? There's a touch of that Luciferian science in it. We see they'll test you, right? By doing something. But the last thing you better do is respond the same way as what they did. Because now they see you like a woman. Oh, man. Let's turn it over. Listen. After this, man, maybe y'all want to go over and check on what's the dude's name? Y'all ready? Listen, after this, y'all need to go check Sinful. Go check Sinful for some professionalism. It's been a wild class when we bring up Sinful. Shit. Oh. We got El Arabi. Arabi. That is stupid. He said, sinful got a little mustard on his jacket. Ah, 5% is good. What is this? Constant. All right, there we go. Gotta figure out how to. Yeah, listen. We in civilization class talking about sinful to P. We're out by the we're out by the edge. Oh yeah. 793rd. Not sinful. Yo, what's the deal with bitch? Last time I seen Bish at the memorial for Great Mom.
Yeah, I also think the best thing to do, like with what you were just talking about, the best thing to do with any individual, not just a woman or European or anybody, just any individual in general who's trying to pull you down to below 6, right? And they're trying to pull you down to that level. You just keep your anchor at 7 and pull yourself back up.
Yeah. Look. Now you talking about the $64,000, but see, the thing is, it's all in the execution. Like, see now, because, let's not, because this is a Hotep channel, right? What we talking about is 6. What we talking about is forgetting about the word, right? And only seeing the flesh. You understand what I'm saying? Not understanding where all this came from. So you caught up in 6. And like you said, remaining rooted in 7, right, is the whole point of not falling victim. That's the whole point of taking the devil off your plane. You see what I'm saying? It's rising above the 6. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, especially once you've said that you're God. You see what I'm saying? Now it really becomes important because what? People is watching you. You can look, sometimes I get on the internet, right? I watch a video, whole video of people talking about stuff I did. It's just like very positive influence used to tell me. And at first, you know, I used to be bugging out. Like, I'm like, yo, where's this shit? You know, I'm looking for the camera. Used to say everything that we doing is saying is being recorded on audio and videotape. I'm looking. Is it camera? But is it you? Are you wired for sound? Who tells you?
That's that show You Got Punked. That's that old show. You talking that old what is that? What is this shit called? They did the celebrities where they jump out the bushes and shit. That's an old show. They do little pranks on the celebrities and shit.
Yeah. But see, that's because once you say you got it, everybody's watching you. You understand what I'm saying? And the you know, the fruit, you know, the people that see and hear you, right? You know, that's what is you know, that's what's producing the magnetic. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of magnetic, you know, in a charismatic speaker and things of that nature. But then, you know, when you can multiply that speaking, right, with action and accomplishments, right, with things that you have the fruit to show for. But that's, you know, yeah, that's the, you know, you've in terms of speaking, you know, listen, yeah, we can end the class now. you trapped the whole side. listen, everybody, Wordsmith just told y'all the whole side, the whole side. we can all just go home now. Stay rooted in 7.
I think there's particular techniques, like, well, just from my experience, I know each individual probably has a different see on this, understand it. There's particular techniques in doing that as opposed to just, you know, just living out mathematics. We got the best, you know, that's the most important thing about the science is that we got the highest form of mathematics, which is supreme mathematics. So as long as you do the math and you do the knowledge and you stand on your foundation, you're good. Once you stop doing that, once you stop doing the knowledge, then your wisdom is going to be kind of your wisdom is not going to be kinetic. It's going to be pretty frozen, so to speak. So yeah, pretty much. It's not really rocket science in all actuality. That's why, you know, I appreciate when brothers talk about the simplicity of it, because it's not hard. At least not for me anyway. I hope it's not hard for any other brothers within this particular cipher on this stream. being God for me just comes natural. So I mean, I hope it does for, I know brothers are just coming into the science. I would just recommend staying in the math. I know some brothers say you need to learn 120 extremely, I mean, I agree with that. You should learn it as fast as possible. But personally, I just stayed in the math, and and that was my particular goal.
Yeah, you brought us back from the ledge. We can go back to the regular picture now. But yep, we just heard it. The wordsmith just dropped the science of everything in life. Any questions?
Yeah, peace to the God. I'm finna sign off, man. About to do
All
the
right,
God over. Peace.
Wordsmith signed out after giving us some deep introspection there on cultural appropriation. Meantime, in between time, do we have any other questions in the room before we sign off? Love asks, is anybody down to go to some cabin camping? Go out camping and fishing? Lord Burton said, degree a day. Yeah, that's what people gotta get back to. See, the important thing about a degree a day, man, is because see, a lot of people, you want to point to the fact that, 120 is nothing without understanding. It's nothing unless you, learn the best ways for you to live from it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, how do you get to that understanding without having knowledge and wisdom? You understand what I'm saying? And even though it is, it's material for babies. I got it when I was a baby. You understand what I'm saying? I had it on cap when I was a baby. So yes, it is baby material. But see, that's why you should learn it quick. That's why you deal with a degree a day. You know what I'm saying? You get it over with in 3 or 4 months, right? And then you do all that other freestyle. See, because you know the ropes now. You can freestyle. Not to say freestyle like you just totally go off the map, but where you deal with growth and development. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to deal with growth and development by dealing with the same thing every day. Even if you doing the same thing, in order for you to really deal with growth and development, you got to do it to a higher degree or something. Like even if you work out every day, but you do the same thing, you don't never increase the amount, you don't increase the weight, you don't increase nothing, then eventually you're going to stop building. So, that's actually a very important point. You know what I'm saying? It often gets overlooked, but literally you get knowledge 120 lessons in 4 months with the simple saying that a degree a day keeps the devil away. And see, that goes for you building on them too. Dealing with your degree every day will keep the devil away. Not just in quoting it, but in seeing, like I said, you know, how you actually using that knowledge and wisdom. Not just having that knowledge and wisdom. You can see a lot of people, they have knowledge and wisdom, and they do the dumbest stuff in the world. Because they don't use it. But yeah, love is talking about this trip to nature. You know, I remember one time, I think I mentioned that on here before on this channel. We went with Dumar. Dumar took us up in the mountains. Dumar YD. Like, I'm not exactly sure it was one of the things we was like, yo, you want to go? Like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So we went up there. I don't really know the whole science of how he got it, but it was a point where he was talking to these people, like some colored people, like a whole bunch of people. You know, by the time it was like we was in another mentality. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really paying attention to everything he said. But he took us up there. We was up there for like the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? And we was hiking in the mountains and cooking on a stick and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it was one of those things too, right? Where there was a bond that was built between the people that was there that lasted like to this day. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I see the different people that was there, it's, you know, that's a specific equality. You know what I mean? Because it was like, you know, we dealing with survival out there. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was born said, I know the young guys have a trip planned for sometime in August. What young guys? So, you know, a lot of the young guys, they see me as old now. So they don't tell me this kind of stuff. The youth team? Who's the youth team? Oh, the youth office. Yeah, all right, yeah, know. Yeah. You know. Whatever's the cutoff age, I'm over it. Whatever is the cutoff age that you gotta be below that age to be in the youth office, like I mean, you can qualify. I'm disqualified. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know. Water has the steepest level. You know, my program is a little more kind of day to day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more of a everyday operation. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you have certain things. But yeah, they had something. Who was that? Saturday? Yeah, they had something Saturday. I think it was that was they second. What they said the second. I don't know if it was their second anniversary, but it was their second thing that they did over here. But I don't know. I don't know. You know. If I go on a trip, I go on a trip, man, I gotta be prepared. Little chocolate and pecans, of course. Shout out to the guy for bringing me little snacks here. But yeah, if we don't have any other questions, you know what I'm saying? Everybody do the each one, teach one. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Of course, we come on tomorrow, of course, at 7 o'clock. If you want to get the alerts, which YouTube doesn't send out for me very often, but if you want to attempt to get the alerts, hit the notification button. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to check out. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths. You know, all of our silent listeners in the background, shout out to y'all too. And we'll be back tomorrow.